What is up, guys? It's Ashley, the coach of the Houston Harden, and I am here with our first game of the divisional rounds of the GBA Fan Draft League. We are playing OPJellicent today, who has a very scary team that he has drafted. A fun fact about his team, every single Pokemon that he drafted is within the base speed of 100 to 115, with the exception being Ferrothorn, obviously, but I think that's absolutely amazing. I think that's really good. I think that's a really nice speed tier to control, if you ask me. But his team overall is M-Diancie, Latios, Raikou, Entei, Staraptor, Tentacruel, Ferrothorn, and Mineshaow. As you can see, he opted to leave Mineshaow and Tentacruel at home today. And I brought Tapu Fini, Tangrowth, Dugtrio, Thundurus T, Dragonite, and Mega Sableye, leaving my Metagross and my Arcanine back at home. So let me tell you a little bit about the reason I brought some of these things. My Tapu Fini is very, very specially defensive. I think it's in max special defense with Defog, Nature's Madness, Moonblast, and one other move that I cannot remember for the life of me. This is the 5th time I've tried recording this, and every single time I've looked in between. And I cannot believe that I did not stick. Anyway, we'll move on to the next one. We have our Tangrowth. This is an Assault Vest Tangrowth with some bulk thrown into the defensive side. It has Power Whip, Knock Off, Rock Slide, and Payback, because I didn't really have another move I wanted to put on there, and I figured Payback could do at least something against Latios. It's definitely moving after Latios, and a nice double strength Payback could definitely lay down the pipe. Power Whip specifically for M-Diancie, seeing as my main sweepers on this team don't really have anything to hit M-Diancie. I was kind of just hoping that Tangrowth could take it out, because I know that it can tank some M-Diancie hits with its special defense and investment as well as its Assault Vest. So next we have Dugtrio. This guy is going to be our trapper. Really, the only move that's important on this thing is Earthquake, because the only thing I plan on using it for is Earthquaking that Entei and that Raikou. I really needed a surefire way to get rid of those, since each of them can tank one of my, or can absolutely decimate one of my tanks, being that Entei can get rid of Tangrowth and Raikou can get rid of Tapu Fini. So my ability to wall his team is significantly improved once one of them is gone. So that's why I needed Dugtrio. So it has Focus Sash and Earthquake to guarantee that they get the job done, regardless of whether they're scarfed or any sort of other shenanigans that go on. My Thundurus T is my last resort sweeper. This has Choice Scarf, Dark Pulse, HP Fire. It has Thunderbolt, and it has Volt Switch. So I did put Volt Switch on there in case I needed to use it to scare something out. I didn't know what exactly that scenario would be, but I didn't have a 4th move there really. I kind of planned on getting rid of all of his Pokemon that would wall Thundurus. Like, I put HP Fire on there because Ferrothorn is hard as hell to take down, so I didn't want to bank on that I got it down for sure. But I didn't feel like I needed to run HP Ice or anything like that, because Dark Pulse hits Latios, and he actually doesn't have a single ground type on his team. So if Raikou and Ferrothorn are gone, I can freely spam Thunderbolts and Volt Switches and things like that. So I figured Thundurus T would be a great Choice Scarf late game sweeper here. So the one that I have in here to clean up for Thundurus T is going to be this Dragonite. I have Weakness Policy because he has a lot of Pokemon that could run moves. He has the Latios, he has the Raikou, which can typically run HP Ice, he has Diancie, and I was just worried, well, not worried, that I figured that I would get hit by a super effective move, so that's why I ran the Weakness Policy. And Dragon Dance with Extreme Speed, Dragon Claw, and Fire Punch, because of that Ferrothorn again. My late game scenario in here definitely included Ferrothorn being there, because I knew that I had troubles taking it down. And while I felt like I had troubles taking Diancie down, I was very confident in Tangrowth's ability to knock out M-Diancie, so much so that I didn't feel the need to use slots on my main sweepers to hit M-Diancie. I assumed that I could either get it low enough to go down to pretty much anything, or that I could take it out entirely with Tangrowth. So finally we have Mega Sableye. This is just your standard pretty much Mega Sableye set. It's got Recover, Will-O-Wisp, Taunt, and something else I think. It was really here just to be a defensive wall. It does a pretty good job of walling pretty much anything not named M-Diancie, so it just seemed like a good overall bring. And looking at his team, I decided to lead Mega Sableye because I wouldn't have my Misty Terrain up, and I could freely fire off a Will-O-Wisp because I felt like he wouldn't be switching his Entei straight in on the Mega Sableye, and hopefully, since his Mega Sableye is what can take out the Sableye the easiest, since his Mega Diancie is what can take out the Sableye the easiest, by leading Sableye we can kind of goad him into putting the Mega Diancie right into our hands and getting our free switch into Tangrowth and going through. So that was my train of thought. We'll see if it pays off. Let's go ahead and hit play and get the game started. So I start off with Icy Wrist, and he is going to start off with his Staraptor. Gets the Intimidate off, which is pretty good. I felt like my team was pretty easy to predict what I was going to lead, so I don't understand. Maybe he just wanted to play it safe, and he goes for the U-turn and gets out of there. So it is nice leading with something where you always know you have the U-turn option. He is going to go into Mega Diancie, so that bit of bait worked, and I'm going to get the Will-O-Wisp off because on a 0 health, 0 HP and 0 defensive investment, my Power Whip from Tangrowth only does about 95 or something like that to 110 or something. It wasn't a for sure one-hit kill, so if I got that burn off and it got 2 turns of burn, I could almost guarantee the one-hit KO. And after seeing that Moonblast, I know that all I have to do is land this Power Whip right here to get my KO. So we go here, he goes for the Moonblast again. We do live, as you can see, and we hit the Power Whip and get rid of Mega Diancie on turn 3, which is huge for my team. That thing could have really shredded through a good bit of my Pokemon, and we've knocked it out in turn 3. So in comes the Staraptor to get my attack down, and I'm just going to switch right here into Mega Sableye. So he's going to go for the U-turn again, kind of leading me to believe that he's Scarf, because if he were not Scarf, he could have Brave Bird or something right there for the damage and then U-turned out, but he didn't do that. He just went straight for the U-turn. So in comes Entei, and I don't really have a better play than just to stay in right here and see what kind of Entei this is, and he's going to go ahead and hit the Sacred Fire there. So I don't like anything about that. I'm hoping that he's Choice Banded here because I know a lot of Enteis are, so I'm just going to go straight into Dugtrio, my boy Migos. So he's going to go for Extreme Speed, and it's going to bring me down to my Sash, which is crazy. But thankfully we get the Earthquake off, get rid of this Entei. So turn 6, we are up 5-4, and I'm really liking the looks of things right now because Sableye did its job, Dugtrio did its job. Right here I'm just going to switch right out into Tapu Fini because it's my best wall option at this point. I don't have Mega Sableye anymore, and Tangrowth is not the best switch into Staraptor. Even that U-turn will do a good bit of damage, but as you can see, the U-turn didn't do that much at all to the Tapu Fini, which is pretty much why I switched into it, because if he wanted a Brave Bird or something I would have taken damage, but he had kind of shown me that he wants to U-turn, and it's kind of furthering my suspicions that this is in fact a Choice Staraptor. So I'm going to take this opportunity to set up the light screen. I don't think that even Specs Raikou could kill my Tapu Fini set based on my calcs, so I decided to set up the light screen. And as you can see, he's definitely not Specs. He sets up the substitute, and if he had been sub Calm Mind, that would have been really good for him, even though I do have Nature's Madness to break the sub still, and maybe I could get it down enough with the light screen, because as you can tell, like even he would have to be a +3 or 4 to really do good damage to me, because right now it's probably like a 5-hit KO. But I'm just gonna keep firing off Nature's Madness and Moonblast, because it seems to me like he's trying to sack this Raikou off. He's trying to trade. He's not really showing that he wants to keep it alive or anything, you know, he's just kind of sacking it off. So I'm just gonna keep hitting Moonblast. Now if I had thought about it a little more, I might have gone Nature's Madness here, because you know it is a pretty free switch into Ferrothorn whenever he wants to take it. But I just went for the Moonblast because I thought he was sacking off the Raikou. I mean, he made it seem that way. He wasn't really doing a whole bunch of damage to me, and after all the leftovers and things like that, I'm back up at pretty much half health. But regardless, I'm going to go into my Tangrowth here because I know that I can tank a Leech Seed or anything like that, while he decides to go for the Stealth Rocks because Mega Sableye is gone, which is unfortunate, but I do have Fini to defog. So right here I'm going to go for the knockoff, predicting that he switches because I really want the Choice Scarf off this Staraptor, because as I said, I do have Choice Scarf Thundurus, and I only EV'd it to I EV'd it to outspeed a Mineshow, a Mineshow that was EV'd to outspeed a Dugtrio. So I don't think it would have outsped the Staraptor. For some reason, he goes for the double edge, which is mind-blowing to me, letting me get the Rock Slide off. And I'm just going to switch out here and go into Dugtrio, stacking it off. I was hoping that maybe I could get enough Regenerator health back to live another double edge, because for whatever reason, he thought that was his best play, and he did it again too. So I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'll just go right back into Tangrowth and try and take another double edge. If he does go for Brave Bird, the recoil is going to put him in a good range for me, which is what he does. So finally makes the good play and goes for the Brave Bird on Sand Noodles. And right here, I'm just going to go right into Tapu Fini and try and get a defog off. So I expect him to try and attack me here, and if I don't get the defog off, it's no big deal. But this is a last ditch defog, and he goes for Pursuit, which blows my mind. Even like, if you can see by the damage, like even if I had switched out, that was you should have just Brave Birded for damage on anything, absolutely anything. Gives me the freest defog of my life, and now he finally, one turn too late, decides to go for the Brave Bird and puts himself at 3%. So now this Dragonite comes in scot-free with no rocks. I'm at 100%, and I'm going to hit that Dragon Dance. Unfortunately, Staraptor is going to hit the U-turn and get out of there, and it doesn't have anything super effective against me to activate my weakness policy. So now if I take anything from any of these Pokemon, it's not looking good, because I don't know if I can tank a Draco from Latios or anything like that, so my weakness policy isn't very good. But I get it to +1, I take out this Ferrothorn, take the Rocky Helmet and the Iron Barb's damage, which that Fire Punch was a great bring. I'm really glad I didn't bring Ice Punch instead. And now he goes into Latios. There's one turn of Misty Terrain left. He's going to switch out into Staraptor, getting the Intimidate, which I don't know why he sacked that off, because he proved earlier that, well, I guess I got the one speed up. Anyway, he goes into Dragon Claw. I don't know why he didn't just go into Staraptor in the first place and then go into Latios, but I don't know, it doesn't matter. The end result was pretty much the same. He's going to go back out into Latios here, and I'm still faster, even though I'm not at +1. A Dragon Claw from an Adamant Dragonite is absolutely going to kill a Latios. And now it's pretty much looking like GG, because all he has left is this Raikou at 10%. I'm definitely faster. I have E-Speed, even if I thought he was Choice Scarf, which he isn't. He's going to E-Speed me. It's going to barely dingo do anything. It's just going to ding off. And we're going to hit the Dragon Claw and win our first game at the FDL, which is super exciting. I'm glad. I want to say good game to OPJellicent. I know that he wasn't too happy with how the game went, but that's just how the game goes. I had my plan in mind the entire time to run him down as much as I could with my walls, and I did. I made good predictions as far as trying to get that Choice Scarf off of the Staraptor. I think I played very well, and I did the moves that I needed to do to win in the late game. I think Choice Scarf Thundurus would have had a good time doing anything. I think that it could have swept through a good majority of the Pokemon that he had left. Yes, Ferrothorn would have been a problem, but I definitely think that it was possible any way you slice it. It was a good game to him. I'm really happy that I'm won. I was really happy with how I played. I'm glad that my prep, this was a game where I prep by myself. I like to get help from people usually before I prep, but in this game I prepped all by myself, so I was really happy with how that turned out. Anyway, if you're enjoying the content you see, go ahead, like and subscribe, whatever, do all that shit. You know how YouTube works. But I'll see you guys next time. I'll be doing these FDL uploads pretty much as they happen. I don't have a specific day for them, but you should see them up probably 1 or 2 days after they happen. So look forward to that for the next couple of weeks. I'll see y'all later.